And welcome back to Canadian Disc Golf Productions. Today we're watching the back nine of round one of the Putt Confidently presents the Project 15 Open. I am Chris Brown.
I'm Robbie Holden.
And that's it. So if you have not watched the front nine, obviously, what are you doing here? Yeah, go watch the front nine. A lot of cool things happen. A couple birdies, a couple missed putts.
Yeah.
Definitely windy. We had some hail to begin with. Now we got the wind to contend with.
We've seen the full gambit of what Project 15 has to offer so far. The highs and the lows, lots of tree kicks. Just a reminder, this is a OCC event, so top three in all divisions will be getting a qualifying spot to provincials at the end of the year.
So as you don't know, Project 15 is north of Peterborough. I'm not going to give you distances or times because it is a secret. Shh. Yes. Don't tell anyone. Shh. Yeah, so this is on Gabe's property, the owner of... I don't want to say property again. Anyways, the owner of the property, Gabe. So there is a pass-through fee to play, and you have to message him before you show up. He doesn't want people just coming on his property and playing disc golf at all times of the day. So
yeah. It is well worth the trip out here if you get in contact with Gabe. Well worth it, and lucky for us to be able to have a tournament here every year as well.
Yeah, he's so like helpful and so like giving on this tournament every single time he come here. He's always done so much work.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't imagine the man hours
that
have been put into it. And that was a big community volunteer out here. That a lot of them that come out to help as well.
Gabe and crew, everyone that's involved out here.
Oh, if you want to go back, this drone footage is actually from last year. So you would have seen what we played from last year, which was this was the most treacherous hole.
Yeah, it's been cleared out of quite significantly.
So if you didn't notice that, go back and watch what you had to play. If you played the tournament and you're watching this, go watch what you had to play through last year and be thankful you got what you got. Because hole 10, it is a mash into a pretty good upshot mash.
Yep.
And that's what you get for this hole. Ideally, a 400-foot drive, maybe 350 off the tee pad. It's pretty wide open now. And you're just trying to get in the middle of this little fairway here as Oz gets turned over way too much.
Yeah, did he cut through into the fairway of 11 there?
I think he's on like the forest line between the holes. If you do get over there, you can just play up 11 and go right to the basket. It is an option. Ooh, as Thomas has tried to destroy that. He wants to go check out the old 10 tee pad. He really misses it.
Took a whole branch off of that tree, too. He's helping out with the course maintenance.
Is that flip enough? No, it does not.
Do not kick left.
He's gonna be okay. He's not optimal. He's gonna be pitching out. The thing about this is this whole area tends to push like wind. It comes a wind tunnel that comes down here, and you're feeling it at the tee pad, and then by the time you throw, it's either gone away or 50 feet in front of you, it's not there anymore.
Yep.
So this is where Thomas got to. He's got a pitch back to very short on the fairway.
And that's where you see when you get really far off the fairway here at Project 15, that's the game plan.
Yeah, and you see that slip with the throw. That's also the game plan here.
Yeah.
So you want to get up past that big tree, and then you're going to hook another 200 and something feet right.
Yeah.
So you can see getting a good drive is so imperative.
This is a sweet spot
for Calvin. Got to turn off your phone when you're commentating.
Rookie mistake.
Yes. Sorry about that. Calvin was actually in a great spot, especially with his forehand ability.
Yeah.
To be honest, I was looking at you. I didn't even see where the disc went.
It's total distraction here. I'm just causing chaos.
It's okay,
as I tend to do.
It's what we're here for. Leyland trying to get aggressive catches a tree. Honestly, no worse than laying up, except he didn't get to pick his footing, as is he Thomas.
Yeah,
He's got great footing, and I don't expect him to have any trouble with this at all.
It's what's interesting about this hole too is it's almost the ideal landing spot is where you get the most amount of rocks, and where it's going to mess up your footing the most. So lots of standstill type stuff here. Thomas comes up into that tree. See the weird footing that Andrew has.
Okay. No, it's not a great spot. This is where Oz got to. He's on the cusp of 11 and 10.
Yeah. So I had actually just they were waiting for I was on the card ahead of this group here, and they were Oz was waiting for us to play it so that he could have this shot here.
Mm-hmm.
So he had obviously teed off and had just played through.
So he pitched out to 11's fairway, and now he's just going to, I don't know, he's going to go low, or is he going to try and go over?
It looked like he was eyeing
over
up
everything.
high.
It definitely looks like he's eyeing high. That is insane. If this works...
Where is this going to go?
Oh, I really want Ken to catch this.
What? Oh, my...
That couldn't have been his throw. No, I don't believe it. What? I don't believe it.
What in the world?
As Thomas has hit an early tree, but you don't. I can't explain that throw. There's no way that Wally has to be playing a trick on us and just spliced in somebody's upshot, because that was insane.
That was some weird editing or something.
Yeah, that had to be 320 feet maybe.
Over top of a lot of trees where if you hit any of those branches and drop into them, you're just toast.
That's
wow.
Insanity. Those trees are high too.
And that's going to be a tap-in birdie for him, right? That'll be his one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something.
Wow.
I'm happy to get a par on this hole. So he got off he had a pitch out and is still going to get a birdie. I think there's something broken with this hole.
That is crazy.
I don't know if it's the hole. I think it just might be Oz.
Because this hole can definitely beat you up. But that's got to be one of the better scramble shots you'll see out here.
Calvin gets some good ground play on the ground off that rock there. He could have very easily got knocked backwards.
Mm-hmm.
You had a backstop too. That was a putt you could run pretty aggressively and have no danger.
Yeah.
Thomas with also a bogey or more. I'm not entirely sure. Oh yeah, no, he took a triple bogey there, which can happen very quickly on this hole. There's a lot of trees and bad footing.
And then you combine the two of them into a long par 5, and
we're gonna have
that is
2 birdies on this hole.
That's a wild birdie.
Calvin played this hole the way it was meant to be. Oz is superhuman. That's about it.
Yeah, birdie that includes just a pitch out.
Look what he threw
into
over
the opposite fairway.
Yeah, they just panned up just to show you the trees. Oz threw over. That's insanity.
That's wild. I mean, you can see him on the right. He threw over top of all of those from this fairway back to 10.
Yes.
But here we are on hole 11, 248-foot par 3. I mean, really, there's a hyzer gap on the right that you want to match perfectly. That's at least the way that I look at this hole.
So I only just recently started throwing that way. It used to be up the middle was the safer bet. But now that the right side, and maybe it's always been this clear, but if you just put something overstable, fire birdie on a hyzer, it follows this perfectly and catches a good skip at the end. Oz just doesn't get lucky to pass that tree.
Yeah, it was the right flight for Oz there. He just pushed it a little right.
See if Cal... he hits
that is further right.
Yeah.
But that's a generous kick.
I think this hole, you're looking at the shot and you're thinking you need to absolutely smash on it. And that's what gets people a lot. That's perfect from Leyland. He didn't throw it too hard.
Money.
It's got a good right to left movement. And see, he got unlucky in my mind.
Yeah.
But he is up there for a putt.
Yep.
I really was hoping somebody would go up the middle. Look how perfect that gap is.
Yeah, you can see the basket just staring at you there. Thomas is inside, but does he get no? But
you'll see that.
Not the worst kick.
Yeah, you'll see that. What does it call it? Gabe calls it the ancestor pine. The one in the I can't see it. Oh, there it is on the right. The gigantic one.
Oh, yeah.
And it's that one there.
Yep.
It looks terrifying.
See the backside of it.
It used to be that came into play a lot when people used to be forced to go up the middle.
I'm sure it still ruins a lot of people's days on this hole.
Yeah. Okay, Thomas is in a weird spot having to shove his foot under that tree. Yeah, I think he was giving that a half go because there was really nothing he had there.
Yeah. something where you might give it a chance, but it's not going to run away from you if you miss. You got to tap in now.
Ooh. Not a bad run. Just undercommitted because he's probably in bad footing and had a tree in his way. Expecting. Oh. Man, Calvin's such a good putter. Just that spin.
Looks so effortless.
Yeah, like he misses putts, sure, but you never know. He could be 50 feet away or 20 feet away, and you know it has a very good chance of going in. As we come up here, a bunch of pars. Bunch of pars. Somebody get a birdie there? I gotta pay attention better. I don't think so. I think it was a bunch of pars for everybody.
Yeah.
That's what you get at the hole. You either hit the gap or you lay up for your par.
Hole 12, we got another par 4 here, 549 feet. Essentially just trying to come up onto this hill here, and then you pitch across a little bit of a valley. This is actually the pin position from last year. It's now a little bit deeper and to the left, probably about another 30 feet deep and then left, just to push it a little bit back, deal with the trees a little more. But off this tee shot, you're really just wanting to throw straight, a little bit of a hyzer at the end, and be up on that hill.
Just like this.
Yep.
That is perfect.
That's money.
Some people with like really big arms can get a shot through the gap. I'm not talking about the gap. Like there's like a over top of the sumacs where the camera operators are, but that requires a huge throw.
Yeah.
So just getting into the middle gives yourself a chance to push that up shot to the basket. Because it's actually hard. Where they're landing, it's hard to penetrate past the top of the hill and get to the basket. So you'll see a lot of 30-foot putts on this hole.
Yeah. As long as you can stay out in the open, I mean, you still have some little bushes and trees that can get in your way, but it's a relatively straightforward throw from there. Mm-hmm. And
That's
this
perfect.
is looking great as well.
He didn't throw it like it is doable. He didn't throw it that hard, and he could definitely have pushed that higher. But it's just the risk is not really worth it. As Calvin has threaded the needle here.
Yeah, buttery.
That he made that look very easy. I guarantee you, I couldn't do that.
This is a fantastic spot to be.
Oh,
just cuts it a little short, but wow.
He would have been parked for last year's position.
Yep.
He's gonna have. 35-footer.
It still has a look at it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that looks a little pulled. That came out kind of wobbly out of his hand. I wonder if it caught a branch.
Yeah, it looked like it did initially out of his hand, and then it put him right in those junipers, which is, like we said, in the front nine, you can take relief straight back out of that, or you can opt to play from it, depending on how close you are.
A little surprised to see Oz not going with a little flex forehand. He kind of had to shorten up his throw there just to get that, but honestly, that's well within Oz's range.
Yeah. If you're getting into the circle here and giving yourself a birdie putt, you're going to be pretty happy with it.
Yeah. So you can see the 30-foot or the 10-meter whisker, 3 feet in front of Leyland, so he's definitely outside circle one, and he almost makes it.
No jump needed or anything on Leyland's putt. He's got a smooth form.
Oh, is that 20 to 25 feet?
I was trying to look for a whisker.
Dead center, no doubt.
Oh, great birdie there for Oz. And then we just got some cleanups here.
Yeah, we're about to get into the, I would call it, unique part of the course. Like, we played pretty traditional golf, just throw it straight. Now is when things get kind of strange as far as like they kind of deviates from the plan, and you get some holes that you're like, you don't really know how you want to play them. There's options to pick. There's it's not just throw straight anymore. Now you have to flex lines and get the get the different parts. It's really exciting to see what these guys can come up with.
Definitely coming into the tougher section of the course, in my opinion, at least. And we're going to be playing, this is hole 13, par 3, from the short tees in this round. Like we said, we're playing the blue layout, so it's alternating longs and shorts. So this is 264 feet. uphill, and then from the shorts, it's like ever so slightly right. Definitely more of a right turn when you're playing from the longs. But shorts, I'm assuming we're just going to see a lot of putters here.
Probably more forehands than putters. It is set up well, especially with Oz and Calvin on the card. They're both very good forehanders, so it sets up well for the overstable flex forehands. It's probably an Omen or something from Oz.
Oh, that was going to be juiced if that didn't hit that tree.
It could have gone in, and this actually is a zone from Calvin, which is understandable because he throws really far.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
We're getting some ace runs here.
That's got to be. I was hoping we were going to get a plastic playback there. That would have been really cool. We're going with Leyland here, also going forehand, also very good at the forehand.
He's dragging this out wide, but man, does that get sneaky.
He made it through everything?
Yeah, that is. And actually stopped at the end to not end up going even further away from the basket. Hopefully has at least a look.
Thomas with a forehand as well. Just cannot get the luck today.
No.
All four of these guys have very good forehands. It's tough to when you have Oz and Calvin on the card because their forehand is so much better than everybody else's, but both of them are very, very good at forehanding. Okay. So long
P15 treatment here.
That basket is hanging if you don't notice. Yep. So it is probably a good 6 feet off the ground for the bottom of the cage. And he's going to run it. That's huge.
Yeah,
when you're running that
putt,
putt,
sit down there.
Yeah, when you're running that putt, you got to make sure you catch metal. Leyland made it through everything, which still blows my mind because there is so much to hit there. And he could have got lucky, but he could have also got unlucky. So probably pretty happy to be where he is. You can see Calvin shaking his head and not understanding what happened.
I love how animated Calvin can get during around a disc golf.
Par for Leyland, and the par's not bad on this hole. Like obviously, if you have the forehand, it's the 2 is the goal.
Yeah,
but
and playing from the blue layouts too. You know, these pros, whenever they're on the short layouts, they're definitely stepping up, expecting themselves to have a better chance at birdie, with it being the shorter tee pad. But that's what's so great about P15 out here. There's still so much that can happen.
Mm-hmm. Calvin makes his 15-footer for the 2. Celebrating to the P15. Fans. Yeah, the fan out on there on the last hole. Make sure I stop that. So off to 14. 14 is the Pet Cemetery. Yeah, the Pet Cemetery hole.
I learned about this year.
So the goal here, I don't think, although it looks like forehand is the play to get down into the valley, the backhand I think is the play. And then your second shot is not here, it's over to the right. And just to the right of the basket is a pit. What do you call it, a pit?
Yep.
A pit where Gabe has buried all of his older dogs.
Yep.
So the Pet Cemetery, very much okay. He's very respectful of you going down there. He just tells you to say hi.
Yeah, I was just about to say, even in the caddy book, it said for that hole to, just say hi on your way by.
Yeah. Very nice to see Gabe respecting his old dogs. He loves his dogs.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is pretty good.
Pretty ideal spot.
Yeah, it didn't look that great out of his hand, but he's filtered through right into, I would say, almost the ideal spot for Alex sneaking away while Calvin's throwing. And see what I mean? That the forehand, although Calvin is just an animal. Goodness. Wow.
Okay.
You don't see too many shots get down into the bowl.
Yeah, that's a rare shot there.
First off, I don't really know if it's necessary. You don't need to get down there. Leyland going some sort of mid-range putter.
Yeah, definitely going slower.
Just trying to get here to the left-hand side, and the right-hand side to us, left-hand side to them.
Just keep changing the angles.
Yeah, trying to mess me up here. Okay, that's early for Thomas. And this is where the danger comes. Really, you don't need to get too much. You just need to hit the gap, get out to the open, and then make your second shot from there.
Yeah,
it's doable from here, but this will be increasing the difficulty exponentially. Couldn't see if that made it into the pit or not.
I was assuming it was based on the angle that we saw, but yeah, it was a little tough to tell where it finished.
Leyland gets over on this.
Definitely like long and left.
Yeah, he pushed himself into the sumacs. He's gonna have a tough putt. The basket's probably 10 feet from the pit. for the dog cemetery.
Yep. Yeah, see, if you come up on that left side, you're putting back towards that
Ooh.
with the backside. That was... I'm interested to see where that ended up finishing. It looked like it was starting to do some dance moves.
This is the best drive I've ever seen.
Yeah, I was 100%. I've never even seen anyone down in that valley.
I never going to see anybody try.
No.
But good for Calvin. He knows what he's doing, obviously. He's a pretty okay disc golfer.
And pretty okay with the forehand, I would say.
Don't sleep on his backhand either. He's got all the abilities.
Yeah, he's got it.
Ozzy there, tapping in his birdie. 2 pretty good shots. Let's see.
Oz is starting to feel it in his game now.
Yeah, Thomas got a great reaction off the ground. If he was a foot shorter, he catches that juniper and he gets nowhere. And he's got a 30-footer from a knee up the hill.
Yeah, he came up just over that lip, which is probably, edge of circle?
Yeah.
Where the hill is? So, then he did whatever his disc did to get to there.
Oh, Calvin paying respects to the puppers.
Yeah, giving a little wave. Then we move on to hole 15. Par 4, 503 feet. This will be one that we are playing from the shorter tee pad as well. And it's a very unique kind of finish to this hole with the way that it goes so drastically downhill at the very end.
Yes. So actually, this is the only hole with OB on it.
Oh yeah, correct.
Yeah. Well, sorry, if you count off property, OB as well. That's not well, the only with like marked OB. I don't know if they're protecting the previous hole, but the left-hand side is OB. Nobody should find it.
No.
Unless you're trying to go for the big flex, like the big anti-flex. It's so far left that it really doesn't come into play.
No one should be finding it from the shorter tees here.
Yeah.
And the basket is actually in a different position from what we saw in the drone footage there. It's now pushed a little bit further back and right from what we saw on that drone footage. Again, probably about the length of C1.
Yeah, Oz got a little too turned over there and just didn't quite get into a good spot. That's a perfect spot for Calvin.
That is... walk up the fairway and drop it where you want it in an ideal way, and that might be where you put it.
Yeah. The idea is you just throw... Ooh, I like this. This is what I take too. Goes slightly anti-flex. It does put the OB into play, but it can get you really close.
It gives you a real nice attacking angle down that hole towards the basket.
Yes, exactly. So I do like it, but it does add a lot of risk to the hole that is so unnecessary if you're good with your forehand up shots. Thomas is doing that same throw, the big flex, trying to get it as far as he can, and he does.
Wow, that is smashed.
See how close Leyland is to this OB?
Yeah. So. He got real sneaky with it. But now he's just got a sky forehand.
Yeah, it's farther than it looks. He's going to be left, but that's decent.
Yep, just inside or outside, I couldn't tell.
I'm going to say inside.
I think I got thrown off by the white stakes.
Yeah. So those white stakes are just a casual drop spot.
Yeah.
If you're on that hill, you can take it up top. As Calvin drops a nice shot up there.
Beautiful approach.
Yeah, it's a weird one. It
looked like Oz was like sawing that forehand off from where he was there.
Again, you can't see the basket, so it's tough to pinpoint exactly where you want to throw it. This is where Thomas got, dude. That's so far up there.
Yeah, that's a great...
Getting
spicy with it.
That's so far up there.
It trickled. He's gonna have a comeback putt now.
There's Nico in the dance.
Nico dancing.
Yeah,
just trying to stay warm.
I don't think that's Carl. I think that's Jack in the background with Nico.
Oh man, what a bid from Oz.
Mm-hmm. That was really good, jumping through the juniper.
Yeah.
Leyland would have been parked for last year's basket. It would have been on top of that hill.
No difference this year though. Still in for birdie.
Mm-hmm.
What a big putt there. That gets him back to even par.
Oh, plastic playback. From what I understand, last year Gavin Cathy got the 2 on this, and he had another putt for a 2 on this.
Wow.
Yeah, big flex forehand. I'm not surprised coming from Gavin.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Thomas with the patented wave. All the fans out there.
Yep.
That one looked a little more exasperated than normal, though.
think Thomas is feeling a certain way about this round in the course right now after this start. But
that's so funny because +1 isn't that bad. Like, it's not great, but it's not that bad. Like, obviously he's had a lot of errant shots, and he should be up there with the rest of them. But then again, so should Leyland. Leyland's having some great shots and just not getting the results either.
Yeah, and they're playing on a card too with Chris and Calvin, who are having sensational rounds too. So they know that they're falling back as those guys are doing good. But we move on here to hole 16, par 5, 625 feet.
This is not a par 5.
Yeah, I was about to say this is a par 4. 625 feet.
Yeah.
You just want to throw it a little bit. The fairway starts to turn a little bit right, but off the tee, I assume a lot of these guys are just trying to throw it pretty dead straight and then have an approach.
Yeah, so again, Oz, Calvin, maybe Leyland, and I don't know, all four of them have the forehand to just play the flex up the middle, and that's what I would do if I had the option. If you have the option, Leyland's actually going backhand, and you just need to go straight. You have to pick either to push it, as this gets a little off left. He's not going to like that. You have to decide whether you're going to push it over, because the optimal landing zone is a rocky patch of unstable ground and really rough. So you have to pick either layup short and play on your second shot, or you push it like Thomas is doing here. And no, he's in the rocks. So he did not get over the rocks, the rocky ground that causes a lot of trouble on the second shots. Still a great shot, though, but he's going to be in some danger. Yeah, Oz going up the middle, too, just playing it safe. Wow. That was almost perfect.
Yeah. It looked like it might have gotten a little lucky through some of those right side trees, but...
I think if you're Thomas, you have to concede the 4. Just throw it straight. Don't try to bite off too much, because you have such poor footing. And he does. That's perfect. Yeah. He's going to have an upshot.
It actually might skip up and never mind.
Yeah, he's going to have an upshot. He could throw it in, but let's just not assume he will. And he's got an upshot for his tap-in 4, tap-in par. That is a phenomenal score on this hole.
I was thinking if it got past the trees that he hit at the very end, he might have still even squeaked up into just outside circle, maybe had a look at the birdie still. But
as Leyland, again, going to get the 4. He put himself near the basket, but in the trees. He's just got a layup to do now. There's nothing really to do, as Oz, with arguably the best drive, had the worst footing, worst footing in the west spot. So he's gonna have to actually work for his par.
And if you get off the fairway on that right side too, it makes the angle that much harder to get to.
I don't know what that disc was.
But
that was very overstable.
Yeah. Not sure if that was maybe a Crux new Thought Space disc coming out.
I've thrown it. It's pretty nice.
Overstable mid-range. Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Calvin, with his 3, left himself a little short trying to get around that corner. That was Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. Just laying up for his par. Again, par. This used to be a whole... there you go, plastic playback. Interesting. This used to be a par 5, and it was everybody birdied it. And so he decided to push the basket farther back.
Wow.
And then make it a par 4.
Double harder.
Yeah. So, it was probably one of the harder holes on the course.
Yeah, definitely one where you don't feel bad about just taking a par on it.
No, definitely. Leyland coming up and laying up as well. I think we're probably going to see 3 pars and a bogey. I hate to...
Which, all in all, really, for a card score, isn't going to be that bad out here, honestly.
No, it's pretty fantastic, actually. This can get away from you pretty quickly as Calvin takes the solo birdie or bogey on the card, as he also breaks his ankle. Not like that bogey's going to matter, because he's going to drop out after this. Oh, no, he's not dropping out. He's a resilient young buck.
And it looks like there was only one birdie during this round on this hole. Marc-Andre Comtois got the birdie on this.
That's incredible.
That is really good.
I wish I could see how he did it. Oh, Toronto Maple Leafs. Thank you, Leyland. Game 6 tonight for us. For you guys, probably already happened in either yay or boo. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll keep my feelings about the Leafs private
Okay.
on this podcast. I don't need any hate mail.
No, you can be honest. It's fine.
Yeah.
You just won't be invited back. It's good.
Go Habs, go.
Oh God, no, you're definitely not invited back.
Hole 17,
And that's what you get. Hole 17, par 3, 243 feet. It used to be OB behind the basket. Now it is not. So you can just throw. The ideal is something slow and just curve it into the hill and hopefully park it, because any putt on this is death.
Yeah, that's going to be a very scary putt. It's not OB, but I'd say almost natural OB in the sense that you can roll quite a bit of distance if you come in on the other side.
That's right. So my play on this one actually is to try and get into that crevice behind the basket, because the putt is much less scary. It's a decent shot, but that's a scary putt. Now he has to decide. He has a decision to make. He's got a 20 to 25 footer, and he might lay it up.
And it's in that weird spot where it's, you get into circle one, you feel like you have to at least run the putt, but there's so much empty airspace behind. Oz, it's weird footing at the end of that release there.
Yeah, he didn't look comfortable, that's for sure. But he's in a great spot, as you said, just getting into that crevice, having the safe putt up the hill. Same with Calvin, playing it into the crevice. Now look at that putt. Look at that putt he has straight up the hill. Unless he hits cage, he has no danger. This is a layup all day for Leyland.
Yeah.
There's no reason to run that. That's just, you can end up in Gabe's house if you putted that one and missed. Okay.
Good sit.
Very good sit. That could have been much worse.
He was probably right in that perfect range of being, do I run this or do I not?
Oz, not an easy putt.
No. I wish I had seen someone do this play before I played this hole. So I would have tried.
Yeah, and
coming on his backside.
Obviously, it can also go poorly if you get a little too greedy. You can go all the way down that hill. But I think it's the play. Just try to put it under the basket. If you go a little long, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
The worst thing you do is come up short.
Yep, exactly. And I'd rather go long off the tee and be coming back at the basket than coming up short, having to decide on whether to run it, then potentially going down. It's like almost a guaranteed bogey at that point.
Leyland being the nice guy and raking the dirt up the hill to maintain the integrity of it all.
What a gem.
Yeah. Last hole of the front nine.
Yeah, this is hole 18. This is not a par 3. This is a par 4. I believe that distance is correct.
That sounds right.
Yep. But you're throwing across the giant valley out in front, and then the fairway makes a big left-hand turn towards the basket here that you can see elevated on the rocks. Beautiful finishing hole there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It gives you a little bit of risk reward, albeit you do need to push it about 420 feet to get to the optimal landing zone.
Yep.
But just getting it in the middle is huge. Oz is really reaching into that one. That one's over hole 2's basket. It might, as you saw it catch a tree.
If you got past that last limb, it might have come back.
Yeah.
This looks pretty ideal out of Calvin here.
Yeah, he's going to be in the juniper short and left, so his upshot will be interesting. But everybody would take that if they were given the option.
Yeah. Should be able to just have a hyzer in from there.
The wind was really unpredictable here, too. It was gusting really fast. You couldn't tell if you were getting a headwind or left or right. You can see the disc bouncing. Leyland needs to get past that tree, and he does not.
Hopefully that pushed forward enough that
get both angles of Leyland's tree hit, just so in case we're curious.
But that actually ended up in not a terrible spot there. It looked like it actually came left of that tree, so he should be able to maneuver something there.
The best he's gonna get is a par here. Though. There's no getting up and down from there. You just can't get it far enough left. As Thomas has gone really high.
Yeah, this is gonna spike in even more. On that left side,
interesting.
That is going to be a tough spot. Maybe even something like overhand over top of the trees. I don't know if Thomas does that very often.
I'm sure he can, but I just don't see the risk reward being worth it. Leyland probably didn't like that, but it wasn't getting to the basket anyway, so he just got a little tougher of an upshot now. Oz in the trees on the right hand side of the fairway, and guess what's back? Hail.
Yep, this is the wild weather that we had on that Saturday.
Honestly, considering what it was supposed to be, you're right, he is going
Yep.
over, but it looks like a flex forehand.
Yeah, not quite the.
That was really high. I'm assuming this is just to get back to the
I
fairway.
assume so. Not sure where that ended up. Looked pretty solid out of the hand.
Yeah, didn't see a bad kick, so I'm sure he doesn't hate it. That's not bad. It's a scary putt.
Yep.
It shouldn't be, but it is on the peak of the very smallest hill you can imagine, but it's just enough to make you think about it.
Yeah, putting slightly uphill, knowing that it goes slightly downhill on the backside, so it'll get you even further.
This is a great shot.
Yeah, that's ideal.
That is for his 3, so he'll be putting for 4.
You can see the hail's really starting to come down here.
Yeah, the thing is, it wasn't wet, it wasn't heavy, so it was just like kind of there.
That's gonna be some tough footing there.
It was weird because it didn't even get your. Oh, okay. I thought it looked really cool, but
Yeah.
obviously just a layup. It didn't even get you wet. Like your disc wasn't wet. You didn't really need a towel.
Yeah.
It just was there. Oh, that's Calvin. Lucky to stick around.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just enough weather to be like kind of annoying. Just like wishing like why can't it just be sunny out?
Yeah.
But it mostly just mental. Didn't really, like you said, it wasn't really truly wet.
Leyland.
Good catch by the rocks there. Keep him nice and close.
It's so amusing because I didn't see Leyland make many mistakes, but he just wasn't getting the birdies.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what to say. He just got a lot of pars, a few birdies and a few bogeys, and that kind of got him even. Like I couldn't pinpoint a point. Like I know Thomas hit a lot of trees. That's why he is down at +1, I believe.
Yeah, and I believe Thomas had a triple bogey in there
Sure.
at some point. So that's one hole really amplifying the round.
So yeah, I couldn't do it. So anyways, Oz and Calvin 7 down, both shredded the course. You got a preview of what the course is.
Yep.
Andrew and Thomas obviously +1, not the rounds they were hoping for, but still fun to watch. So this is a unique tournament for us. Gabe wanted to have some FPO coverage.
Yep.
So we are lucky enough to film the final round of the FPO Project 15.
Yep.
So we will not be doing a round 2. We will not be doing a final round of Project 15. If you want to know the results, I guess you go look them up yourselves.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, shout out Cam Zanini. He took it down in a playoff.
Yeah, really wish we had that on film, but
yeah.
Hey, we're going to have an awesome finish with the FPO cards, which
Yep,
is going to be
absolutely.
really cool to watch, especially on this course where they play slightly modified layout, but still the same layout, just different pars.
Yeah,
so,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really exciting to watch. You got good commentators on Kat and Jess, I believe.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, make sure you guys tune in for that one. Like and subscribe, Canadian Disc Golf Productions on YouTube. Chris, thanks for having me back in here with you again.
Yes, thanks, Robbie, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.